Welcome back to Dyson Sphere Program. My name is Nilaus and we are continuing on our journey quest to build a massive blueprint here for a planetary science that makes 30 of each science per second. And once we have that, we can basically double it, we can send it to other planets, we can scale up as much as we can do until we just don't have frames available to actually run the system. But the first thing is we want to build this. We built blue, red, yellow and purple, so today is going to be obviously green. We will also be making the antimatter as well, so that's another big challenge. Now let's get our UI up and running and then see what we want to build. So we want to build green science here, and that is only consisting of 2 components, and they are, I'm getting 2 greens for every 1 input, then it's actually not very high quantities. In order to make 30 of these, I need to produce 24 and then proliferate it. And if I need to produce 24 here, I need to input 12 quantum chips. Now, quantum chips, we already have it, but we already have a build that is delivering 20 per second. So it's just basically taking that build and then scaling it a bit down. That's pretty simple. So we're going to skip that and focus on this part. Let's walk through the graviton lenses. That means we need to make graviton lenses. That means we need to make green lenses. We need diamonds. That's something we request. Turbines, our strange matter comes from particle containers. We can build that as well. And particle containers come from electromagnetic turbines. What is really interesting or important to do is that, let's see, there are a few constraints here. One of them being, of course, we need to make sure that we have diamonds. I'm just going to assume that for this design part. Of course, we have to assume that we have deuterium. I'm going to assume that. And what was the last thing? We are going to assume that we have, all the other things, but they are basic materials. We have to be able to request basic materials. So the focus today will actually be, honestly, it's going to be making a new design for electromagnetic turbines, because I think that's going to be the coolest design. Most of the other designs we're going to build are going to be, well, basically our sort of normal premise of going ins and outs. And that's not as challenging to build. So we want to build something that's more challenging as well. What are we going to get here? We are going to, what was the other thing? Quantum chips. Yep, they are. And just all of that. Now that means we need to figure out how to build this part. And I'll just make a really, really simple one. Get this outbound. And then the question is, how many do we need? Well, the answer is we need 2 lanes, 12 high, 12 deep for our science. That means I need to build my first science facility here. Yeah, I think that actually has to be here and here. And then I'll also get an outbound, and I'll get the outbound this way, all the way down. And then I'll also get it back up here. There we go. And I will get from this location. That's fine. So all of this is pretty damn basic. We've done this before, and we're also going to set up monitoring. But let's, oops, there, here, and here, out and out. And then I need to make this 12 high. I don't know how much that is. That's 12. That should be 12. Good. Then I need to copy this part without the belts, because then I can easily set it down here. And I will need to get that in between, and also for this side. And now I can say, okay, what is this? This is 4 lanes, or sorry, let's say 2 on the side. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Good. So this one is 288, and that is exactly how much we want. And I can then loop this around and back again. I love how quickly you can build things in Dyson Sphere Program. It is just so amazing. And I am going to get a belt monitor here. And I will take one of the other values, this one here, Why is it yellow? Oh no, yellow. Oh, red. Why is it red? It's red because it does not have any flow, but that's okay. Here, what I'm going to do is I am going to set this. This basically is monitor on a 60-second. If you have less than 60, that means this is 10 per second, and it should be coming in at coming out at 30 per second. Then you have a failure state, or if you have more than that, you have a pass state. So I want to say I'll throw a warning when there is a fail state, and yeah, there's a fail state and there's no cargo. If there's a fail state and cargo, that just means it's stuck, which is kind of the issue on the other one. Then I'm also going to make sure that I can fill up the belt by getting a few more of these extra outbounds. That is excellent. I will be setting all of these as we've done before. These will both be requested local, so I can just do this. Again, that's only local, so it doesn't need any of that. I will get and there, I'll get and there. And this will only be provided. So, first thing done. And now we have the warning here. That's pretty damn cool that we have this. It's also just slightly annoying right now, but yeah, well, it'll tell us that we have a problem. And it is now time for us to move on to the next part. So I only need to make 12 what's it called? The green lenses per second. So it should be pretty simple. That means I am going to take a belt going back, and then we'll build sort of the usual locations here and here, and then I'll have 2 inputs for each. And that means, oh, they should just put here green lenses, and green lenses consist of strange matter, where you be at strange matter, and what was the other thing? Diamonds, of course. Diamonds will be requested offsite. Don't need this, that one. I'll get some of these inbound, and this will be requested offsite. Not gonna do it now. This will be requested on site. I might as well do that, and this will be provided on site. So there, that is done. All we need to do now is set these up for. Yep, and I need 1 outbound. I don't know how deep I want it. Definitely not that much. And we'll find out. Oops. And since I need to make 12, then the answer is green lenses. I need 10 deep. I do all these calculations up front so that we have less numbers, and then you're always welcome to recheck my numbers if you think there's something suspicious about my my numbers, but I do want to refrain a bit from just being 30 minutes of just throwing numbers at you. So you can trust my calculations or not. That's up to you. And then we'll be I'll try. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, counting. It's hard. That part. So that is all of this part, and I will be able to cut it here. And that goes in and in. So we only need like 12 per second, so there's really no concern about whether you have enough of these or whether the belt is going to be full, because it's not going to be full. Very simple. That one, and we also of course need something more, so I'll build that one. And we need the proliferation on these belts. Damn, that's easy, right? And now I can also request this inbound because now it works. Okay, that was one more. Moving further back in the sequence of events, then the next one will be, let's see, yeah, strange matter is going to take a big effort. So we are actually going to, this will be this particle containers. Let's see, what do we need? We are going to use the default particle container. that one, and no, it's copper. Copper and there. That's what we're going to be using. Oh, this one is needing warps, so it should also have warpers here. I forgot that part. And go. Warpers, there we go. And this is probably need warpers as well, so take that out. There. Okay, so we need 12 of these produced. That means I need input corresponding here to 9.6. Because 9.6 times 1.24 is 1.25 is 12. And that is going to be an absolutely annoying build, this part. And I loathe working with particle containers. They are so annoying. But I think we'll be able to squeeze it in just here. Now, this means I'm going to request the particle containers, the iron, and what was the last thing? Oh yeah, lots and lots of deuterium. Lots and lots. We are going to solve that in a later episode, and by coming up with a new and better fractionator build. That's good, that's good. That one, and let's see. You'll be at 10,000, probably even more. 10,000, this will be at 5,000. I'm just trying to be consistent, and then I can adjust it if necessary. You will be here, will be that one. You will be off camera, or off camera. Did I say that? I'm requesting it off camera. Nice. Okay, let's see. Deuterium is going to be used a lot more than everything else, so that is a problem. That means I'm going to need to make more deuterium belts here, all the way down. And I'm going to get the return belt in the middle here, and more, oops, and more deuterium out, like that. Now I have actually put this even further back than usual because I need it to be way closer. This one, if you look at it, there. That means this is going to be the location where I place that and that. Yep, it's way too close. But let's see, that means I can also build this a lot closer, and I'm gonna have to have to build it a lot closer. Like, how close? This? No. I think here and here, but let's try it. So I needed 8 deep. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, yes. And what do we have on the other lines? I'll have the other two. This part. And I'll have the iron part here. Also going all the way down. Then I'll have another line. Looks good. And then I'll have another deuterium coming in. That's not it. Another deuterium line here. Let's get it all the way. And that will then be from here maybe all the way over. Because we're not really going to build a lot. You're going to go away. Because I'm only building 10 per second, so I can take this and go in there. There. Ooh, this is a big build, and I hope it works. So, oops, that's not correct. One of these is incorrect here. This one should be... Oh, by the way, I noticed that some in the previous comments to the previous episode, I do read those and I do check those. So not everything that is commented is first of all replied to, as you can guess. But I read everything, and then I also check a lot of things that just go in and fix it in the next episode or before the next episode. So we can just generally assume that if there's something you mentioned in an episode, then I probably have fixed it. Even if I don't sort of explicitly say that I fixed it. Or you can also assume that I have not fixed it and then mention it again. But of course, there might be some things that I'm missing because when I read the comment and when I sit in front of the PC is not always the same time. So, right, I think this might be working. There will always be an issue with power poles. That might not be the worst thing in the world yet for this part. That's a bit off. Still a bit off if I place it in the same place. There and there. I think I have to build it everywhere. I don't like that. I think this is better. Yes, it is. It definitely is. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. We are going to switch these to strange matter. And this, if I have 32 of these, I produce 5 per second. It is absolutely disgusting how bad it is. Alright. Here, we're going to start at the middle. This will be a common output belt. And dedicated input belts. There, that's good. And on this side, this will be a shared input belt. And out here, I will have an input and an, oops, not like that, output. And on the top one, also do that. This will be a shared input belt. And a input and an output here. So that should work. Got that. And when you build, oops, that's so weird. So weird that it does this. It can't build its own blueprint. Huh. That's weird. Okay, I think I need to do that with a blueprint on. Yeah, there are still some weird things about this. And I really hope they go back and fix. Almost every positioning error comes from these stupid particle colliders. They're so annoying to work with. That's also why if people go like, oh, why don't you use the Factorio, the direct place, and I'm like, yeah, but then I have to work with these annoying things even more, so that's not happening. Do I really need it on the outside as well? I don't know. I don't think so. Nah, they look powered. So all we need to do is yeah, and I'll do up here as well. That one, and that one. Good. Okay, let's see. Should I just fire it up and then hope that it works? Sure. There and there. Is that obviously not going to work just yet? Come on. It is so difficult to hit that 100 there. Good. And I will cut this part out. And then I'll take a blueprint of this entire thing and place it down here, because each one was only producing 5, so I need 2 of them to produce 10, and the overall I needed was hold on, let me just make absolutely sure we don't mess it up. This doesn't look right. This looks kind of right, maybe. Yeah, yeah, so we need 10 of this, and that's what we get from here. Is this? How did that connect? That's so weird that it could connect. Okay, not complaining about that. That's just nice. We're going to take some of these and some of that, and maybe also some other things before we get into the next part. Yep, and yep, there you go. So that is done. All right, everything seems to be working. Except, of course, it's not. So let's go back to damn, how, why are you not powered? Particle containers. Well, they are going to be 9 deep, and let me see how I want that. Let's see, particle containers, they are 2 to 1. Yeah, so it's, let's start by getting one back here, and then a outbound of, this is the cheapest material, so let's build it. We'll build it all the way down to this location, because but it only needs 9. So that'll be again here, and I'll also have 2 on this on this location, 2 here, and that means I will have this one. Now I have not configured anything in terms of how much how much I want the, what is it called? Yeah, the stacking of the belts to be. And right now everything is stacking to 4, which is obviously too much. And you are also going to go down here as a returner. And this one is, I really love this idea of just bringing things in from the back side here as well. It just seems so nice to do that there. And that should be a pretty simple build. It is not a mirrored build, so keep that in mind. Inbound, outbound, inbound, outbound. This is a shared inbound, 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 inbound. And this is inbound and outbound. Here, shared inbound. In and out. And I will need 9 of these for each. That means the same as the one on top, except one shorter. Autosave. Autosave is starting to take a bit of time. I think it's about 300 megabytes, which is not a lot compared to how much we actually have. They've been really good at optimizing the save game size. That should be good. I will knock these out. I think it's this one. Maybe even one more. There. Because of power poles. So, power poles will be here and here. Usual locations. And then the final outbound on the other side. And all we need let's start all the way up. It's everything except this line here that will have proliferation. It's done. This will be a local request, which will be the main part we're going to build today. And that one, this will be a remote request. Oops, we need to do this. We also need to get, oh, that's already in here, yes. And this will be a remote request. At this point, we have to assume that we just have those out there somehow. And we do. But there will also be something we need to come back to. Okay, so the whole thing is working, except it isn't working. That's lovely. So the only thing we are missing... Oh, look at that one. That one did not get any recipe. I bet you saw that, and I didn't. That also means the same one here. There. Alright, so all of it is kind of waiting for our next build. So that will be the biggest, the big build of today. The one that is sort of the most interesting, relevant one. And it's going to be a big one. And we will constrain it to the size of, I think 1, 2, yeah. It's going to be big. All right, so it'll be constrained to the speed of a belt with whatever is fastest, and we'll get raw resent. So the electromagnetic turbine comes in. It requests some magnetic coils, and it requests some electric engines. But we're not going to request electric engines or magnetic coils. We are simply going to take a look at, if I had electric motors, what would that be? That would be iron. Okay, well, sure, we'll get some iron instead. Magnetic coils is these rings, and it's copper. So that's what we need. That's pretty damn cool that this is all we need to worry about. There. Okay, so if we get all of this, then we can start actually working on it. Well, we're going to start as close as we can on this location. And my idea is the following. I'm going to have in the middle some rows. We're going to make it sort of we don't know how deep these rows are going to be, but that's what we'll do later on. I'm going to get this, and I'll have the two inputs coming in here and here. And they'll be produced on either side. Sort of more or less, as much as possible at least. So this will be electric engines coming up here, electric motors, and magnetic coils. That means I need magnetic coils. And this is just two inputs. So this will now be an output, which will then also come back on the side and go all the way in, which actually already means this can't be like that. That's going to go all the way in. And now I already see that I probably should move the whole thing just a bit down already. Good, let's do that. We already know kind of where we want to have it. I want the lower one here to be the return belt. Yes, that's the return belt. Now we know exactly where we want it. And there. And then I leave 1, 2 spaces. These will be the green motors, green engines. Electromagnetic turbines is the name of them. And you will be going all the way down here in order to sort of at the back roll on back here. Yes. And I will then get, that needs to go like all the way here and all the way in. So on this side I need to get I guess I need to get this return belt. And this will be the magnetic coils. And I need 2 inbounds. One, 2. It's kind of too close, but I kind of have an idea. What if... Okay, so let's ignore this for a bit. Up on this location, I am going to have some electric motor. This will be kind of the same build. I think it'll have, let's see, it'll have iron inbound, it'll have iron inbound, and it will also have, okay, so let's see. Let's say this is gears inbound and this is iron inbound. Then I'm gonna get this being no, the inner one. This is gonna be the return belt there, which goes all the, okay, maybe not all the way in there, but kind of. That goes from here over there. Yes. And then I need an inbound belt that can also sort of wrap around. And this belt will also be coming from here. That will be this one. Okay. So now we kind of have a setup. So let's take this. This is going to be copper outbound. Ah, okay. Coils. And copper. And that will go into this, which will be wrapping back to that location. It just needs to go here. And then I can take all of this out. Wow, this is gonna be good. This is the outbound. Oh, you know what I need to do? You know what I need to do for everyone's sanity? This needs to have a memo. Do I have any idea what this is? Yes, I do. Magnetic coils. There. I'm pretty sure this is... And this will be the electric motors inbound. Yep. And this will be the final electromagnetic turbines. It's going to be copper, and this is going to be here. Because this is now going to be it's not going to be a return belt, but it's just coming from the back. And yeah, this is going to help. Not just you, but also me. And this will be just gears. No. No. That one. And then I'll have input. And another input. Which will definitely be iron on this one. And gears on the other one. Because then I can make gears further up. And this one here. And let's see. I'm gonna have to do this one just so that I can have any kind of sense of what I'm actually doing. And I have to start it here as well. That one. And that will be the final product outbound. And then I'll have... I'm just using a lot of sort of coiling around here. We're not done. We're not done. We have one more thing. And that will be a very simple thing. That will be a return belt of gears. That needs to go into this. Yep. I can actually take the iron right now. Well, yeah, but I shouldn't. And that goes here. And then I have to delete it again because I am going to need more iron into this location. Okay, so I think we're here. I think this is it. Then we need to figure out what is the biggest constraint. And the biggest constraint is the fact that I can only get one input belt, one full belt inbound here. And this cannot be a stack belt. So that has to be what? That has to be 30 inbound here. Yes. So if I'm consuming 30 of these, then the maximum we can have is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on either side. That consumes a full belt of 30. This can produce a full belt by doing 8. Yes. And this one, then I have to delete this. And I'm keenly aware that that was a temporary thing, but I had to do it for my own sanity. These ones are going to be engines instead, of course. Yes, that makes sense. And this should be gears. Okay. Let's see. So I need to make these belts longer, but I need to figure out how much longer. This is going to be 15. 16. Yes. Alright, so if I have 16, each of these are producing one every 2 seconds. So if I have 16 times 2, that's 32. They produce one every 2 seconds. That means I am producing 16 per second. Then I multiply by the crafting speed, 1.5, then 24, and then I add proliferation, that is 30. So this one will output 30 per second, which is the absolute maximum we can do. Good. So that is going to be constraining us. And then we can always do more. So the next question is, how much do we actually make here? Well, we are making, each one of these is making one every 2 seconds. So it's 2 times 10, that's 10, times the crafting speed, that's 15. And then proliferation, that's 18.8, 18.75. Good. All right, now I need to remember how this is done. The inner one is going to be the output. This is output, and it wraps around all the way and wraps back here. Great. The other one is the this input of coils, which will also wrap around. And each of these will be consuming 1. So I'm going to produce 30 out. That means I need input 24. So I need to produce 24 of these. They're each producing 3, but then proliferation. That means I don't need 8, I need 7. Oops, that's not 7. This is 7. And then I need to make... This is the return belt. And... this will be the final product of electromagnetic turbines out. These are inbounds, yes. And... so this goes in and into the middle, yes. These are focused on getting in here. Do we have everything? Well, the only thing we don't have is getting this one to go up, which is maybe a bit of a tricky thing. Well, either way, we are going to build our proliferators here. And we only need proliferation on the inbound side. So that's going to be here. And let's see. That. And that. And that. And this is on output side. It'll be proliferated over there. Then this is here. And here. And here. Wow. Alright, so what I can do is, since this is not actually going up, then I can go up here. And then I can go over to that one. And then... so that's the only one that has to go up. Aside from this, everything is at level. That is pretty damn cool, I think. And then it's... oh, we are still missing a few things. Like the number. How many do I need here of the gears? 13. What? Oh, wrong way. Both of them. That one. And that one. 15 minus 1 might... 15 minus 1 minus 2. Yeah. Okay, so now I just need inputs and outputs and power poles and everything else. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think this is going to be a huge success. In, and out. Okay, that's simple. So let's do that. This one. These are shared input. That was also easy. This is actually not difficult to do in any... the belt wrapping here is the most difficult part. But I think this is a really good build. It unfortunately produces 18 point something, which I don't know if that's a good number. 18.75. It is just a number that I can get from it. Okay, shared input. And this is input output. Input output. I'll leave those indicators so you can also more easily figure out what the hell is what on these blueprints here. That one. And the final one, I think we can easily figure that out. Going to be in and out. There. Okay. And I will think that I would at least need 2 lanes out. Power poles. Let's just put in the power poles and move on. There, that's the power poles, and for some reason we also need one here. Okay, let's fire this one up. This is going to be the most exciting one, I think, to see if it works. You're going to go in, and I'll request all the raw materials, and then we'll just follow up and see if it works. Wrong way. Come on, there. How I wish we can just edit those numbers. No. Oh, wow. And the problem is this is not even enough. I'll have to build 2 of these. But that's okay. We are just going to see if it works first before we double up everything. Do we think... No. Nothing works here. Nothing works. Nothing works. Because this part has to go in there. And this part has to go in there. Ah, yeah, that's better. Because then I don't need to have all of that. Good. So we're getting the first copper in. Wrapping around. And going into all these. So all these are now saturated with copper. That's good. Now comes the next part. There comes the iron. Let's monitor the iron coming up to this side. It goes in and you can see this. We start making gears. Yes. And we start saturating this belt. And the gears are also coming in. So this will be saturated with both items at this point. That's good. So all we need is some magnets. The actual consumption here is not huge. It's just, yeah, it's just something. Right, so let's get that one. When we get that, the whole thing should work. At least it's saturating now everything else. And here it comes. We are now getting all of the magnetic coils. They'll gradually go out here. They should be saturating if I'm getting enough. And they should. Come on, start saturating soon. And the idea is all of this is working. We're just looking for the yellow dots. So you could say, why is the whole side here not? Just because the magnetic coils have to go all the way around. So it's only reaching the last part when, yeah, well, when everything else has gotten it. And the same here. This is coming in and it's the last ones that are not working, and they're not working because of the electric motors, and electric motors were sort of lagging because of the magnetic coil. But if we look at it now, even the last one here is working, and that should also give us, yes, now everything is working here, and we have now producing 18 point something here, 18.75. This will go automatically into this location. We are getting the first ones in here. Let's monitor this coming out. We're just going to walk this through until it goes into the green circuits, and then we'll have to do the next part in the next part. That's how the next part works. And we get the first ones in. Oh, we see the first huffing and puffing here. That is excellent. So it looks like this is also working. It's a bit difficult when you can't really test things until the whole thing is working. And only when this one reaches 200 will it actually be put into the next one. So we'll see that if we can get... It's probably going to take a while before this one is fully operational, because the first ones will be filling up its internal buffers first. But, you know, it's only like the last 3 rows that are not working. So it's coming in, and here we go. That's 2000 or 200. That is coming from there and going in there. All right, that means we are getting the very first strange matter build. Now this is also using quite a bit of power, 30 megawatts of power, because it's proliferated. It's actually not that bad. Like 30 megawatts of power. I thought it was 18 normal, so it's times 1.5. Yeah, 30 megawatts. Yeah, it's something. It's definitely something. And we need to get this one up and running, and you can see the next one is already coming in, so we are starting to see a nice consumption. Of course, this one is completely starving. It's just going to take a while just to get started. And then we're going to wait for this to get to 200, and we'll see that being brought into the green lenses. And there we go. Now it's up to 200. There we go, and it flies out. So we follow it. Just follow the entire supply chain here. And it goes in. And it should start huffing and puffing and making some green lenses. And again, we have to just check that things are working. Interesting that it doesn't seem to... Is there a problem with it? Yeah, there's definitely a problem with this. Interesting. Why is that? Don't know. But it's working out. This is why we test it. That's why we want to see it in action. So now it should be working better once the next load is coming in. And there we go. That was the first green lenses are being brought in. And we have the first green lenses going out. And then all we need is the quantum chips. Unfortunately, we are out of time for today, so we will have to do the quantum chips as well as some of the other things next time, so we don't really get to see the green signs operational, but we have built all of the difficult parts of it, and I think that's a pretty good achievement, and then we can proceed next time. I mean, this one is a pretty complex build, so it's also a really nice one, and of course it's available in the blueprints in the link in the description below, so do check it out, and if I for some reason forget it, then be sure to yell at me as usual. So thank you very much for watching, and a particular thanks to all the Patreon supporters. That is really how we keep doing all of this, thanks to the Patreon support. So thank you very much, patrons, subscribers, and all you lurkers out there. Until next time, take care, and as always, stay effective.